Well, recording has started.
Vor.
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Sound out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me as always,
Step hens.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for. I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo goo goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk? Yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit draws get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No, I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Step hens.
Joining me as always, Dollar Bill Dave.
Sup, y'all?
And Timothy C.
Timothy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start calling you Timothy.
I'll be moving to Netflix in 2025.
Well, you have to get Netflix first.
No, I'm just gonna move there. Then maybe I can watch Raw. Who knows?
What's their address?
7 Netflix
7
Street.
7 Netflix Street. Correct.
I like it.
Wabasha, Wisconsin.
Wabasha. Not Waukesha, but Wabasha.
Yeah, it's a different one. It's right across the tracks. It's on the wrong side of the track.
Wakama, Wakama. Walk away.
I'm moving to Kokomo, Indiana.
I'm sorry.
That's where they wrote the song about. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, it's a tropical part of Indiana.
All tropical paradises and then Kokomo, Indiana.
It's weird.
A mud puddle in the middle of the state. Please remember to subscribe and rate this show wherever you get your podcasts, unless you're from Kokomo, because you probably hate us now. While you're at it, follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. Follow our Patreon network on Twitter at Filter Free Net. And Timmy, if they go to patreon.com/filter free, what do we have available?
We have Legends Let's Rethink This Football is Get Paid with Tim and Dave coming to the end of the season. We will have a Super Bowl special, guaranteed.
Yeah, y'all, and you two need to record one Friday for this weekend.
Actually,
it'll be Getting Paid with Tim and TJ.
Tim and Tim. What sport are we doing? What sport ball?
NFLs.
Question, and I'll cut this or whatever. What you doing Saturday, TJ?
Hopefully nothing.
Well, I was thinking maybe you and I get together and do a live something for the Rumble, since they're going to be there and we kind of hit it at both ends.
Wait, no, I lied. Saturday, that's when I'm taking my wife to Hamilton in Chicago.
Yeah, probably not going to work then.
No.
Do it
Maybe I'll just sit here by myself and
The whole show is just
watch me whack it. Oh, there went another one.
pew.
Oh, threw another one out.
I'll call in from the.
But you have to do it on
propaganda
your
field.
cell phones, and I'll hold it to
Yeah.
the mic so it sounds like shit.
Well, no, I'll call in if you get on StreamYard. I'll just get on StreamYard. You let me in.
The one-man show.
And they can listen to the crowd roar when Ivar wins the Royal Rumble.
You know what? I may do it just to bring the sweet life in. Just be like, hey, Dave, get your phone out.
Yeah, we're
And
going
we'll go live for 10 minutes.
we're going to Hamilton, and we're staying at the Wit. I think it used to be called the Weston, but now it's the Wit.
Should be the Easton now. Easton
The
stick.
Northston.
All right.
Back to recording.
So we will be apparently recording Football is Getting Paid with Tim and not Dave for the conference championships upcoming.
Go Lions.
The entire country's rooting for the Lions except for San
California.
Francisco.
I'm not. Fuck 'em.
That's rude. Plus, Wrestling with Commercials, Evolution of Evil, and our list of 2024 events, which kicks off last weekend, as you're listening to this.
That's accurate.
Dave had a wonderful time at the Rumble.
He did.
Didn't get arrested because it's Tampa and they don't do that to him here.
He's like the mayor there.
I heard the fun director got a little deep in the sauce and fell out of the suite into the crowd. Like
He's
kind of
known
looked
to do
like
that.
Jason Kelsey at the Buffalo Chiefs game.
He's known to indulge. I've seen it.
We love you, Justin. By the way, in real life, this is Justin's birthday. Happy birthday, Justin.
Happy birthday, Justin.
Happy birthday.
But that's what you get with our Patreon network, www.patreon.com/filter free.
So another thing you get with us is we sort of changed up how we do the show. Now on this show, we're still doing 4 stories like we used to do because there was just too many good ones to not do 4. But we also get a current.
Good ones.
They are good. We also do current stuff. So
All I know is this releases next Tuesday.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you.
So that means this weekend on Saturday, it's Wrestling with Commercials.
Oh.
Hoppa! What?
We're going to do Wrestling with Commercials this Saturday.
Oh, coming up.
Yeah.
I was like, you're in Tampa. What are you talking about? It's gonna be weird.
So what current
Dave's at the
topic?
beach.
What current topic are we going to do? What's on y'all's mind today?
Well, you guys picked it, so
Netflix and chill.
Raw and chill.
How about Netflix?
That Raw does not seem chill. I mean,
See, I thought we were doing social media decorum. I thought it was what we were doing. I'm fine with either.
no. Well, I didn't want to do social media decorum because no one has that on social media.
That is absolutely true. Y'all
but
a bunch of dicks.
But it kind of ties in together.
I'm out of jail.
Hey,
Congrats.
Andy Dufresne over. That should be your StreamYard name is Andy Dufresne.
Oh yeah.
But you don't have to pay to watch Raw. Are you kidding me?
You have
Like-
to pay to watch Raw now.
Well, but it's part of your cable subscription. You don't have to get something special.
I watch it on Hulu.
You won't be able to.
I have Netflix already
Well,
How do I change my fucking name?
because I'm not a poor.
it's not about that though. I prefer to have Max. I don't.
I also have Max.
I have
Well,
Peacock,
Mhm.
Netflix,
Yep.
Max,
Yep.
Paramount Plus,
Yep.
Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Just got rid of Disney because nobody ever watched it.
what's your TV provider?
YouTube TV.
Well, I am a poor. I'm sorry.
I don't have one.
I have the Disney bundle. I have Peacock. I have YouTube TV. I should be able to get wrestling out of that. And I'm not talking about fake wrestling like AEW.
By the way, before we get into the Netflix thing, I did read that I haven't watched Raw yet because, as you guys know, as we're recording this, I'm on nights, so it kind of screws up my viewing habits. But I did see right when I woke up, apparently Punk and Cody had a knockdown drag out promo on Raw last night. And I saw part of it. I didn't get to see the whole thing. I saw like a minute and a half of it. And literally the first response was I heard or I read was these two. I heard these two bored the tears out of or some shit like that. Y'all gotta let it go, man.
And then everybody else was talking about how great it was.
Yeah, y'all
They
gotta
were
let it go.
Boring? What?
Yeah,
I fail to believe that. Punk's a lot of things. Boring is not one of them.
y'all really need to move on with your lives.
I'm Andy Dufresne.
I like that you phonetically spelled it. That's
I
fabulous.
enjoy it a lot.
By the way, phonetically is when you spell it the way it sounds.
So what is this Netflix deal? It's 5 years. It's in the billions, is it not?
I'm not going to see Raw for 5 years.
It's 10 years.
10 years.
5 billion.
I'm not going to
5
see
billion.
Raw for 10 years.
Sorry, buddy.
At least I got Peacock because, I mean, the pay-per-views are all you want to see anyway, so it's all right.
Well, I mean, you can go back like 3 months later and watch Raw on Peacock.
Well, but at this rate, I mean, you catch up on YouTube clips and Twitter clips, and I mean, what else do you need? What?
I like it, Andy Dufresne.
Will you stop that?
No, I enjoy it. Please keep doing it.
Nothing was better than the ex hooker sending me the thing today, Billy. And my response was,
I don't think she was an ex hooker.
Lord.
I think she was a current hooker.
Yeah, she's current.
On X.
She still
No,
has
it was Twitter.
she still has her registration. She's current.
I'm gonna post that on our page.
But that's stupid. Like, what is the cheapest level of Netflix? It's like
There's only one.
$17.
I don't think it's that much. I think it's 13.
I think you need to check your bill.
Well, here I have Netflix. Allow me to look.
it's like $12.99 or something like that.
I don't think so. I think it's like 17 now. Because that's why I got rid of it. I used to have it. I used to not be poor.
Well, you should stop that.
Well, I got an arm.
Let's see account. Let's see how much it is. Does not say.
$24.99.
It ain't that much. I'm telling you. If it was $11, I'd be shocked.
Hey Siri, how much does Netflix cost?
There you go. Where you been this entire time?
I think they're lying. Netflix starts at $8.99 a month.
Yeah, with ads.
And then and then you get premium is like $13.99, and then it's like $2 to add a line or add a,
Everything I have is premium because I ain't watching no damn.
$15.99 is what it costs.
Okay,
So $16.
That's if you get
commercial free. There are two levels.
But also like HD 47 or whatever.
They don't do that anymore. They don't do by.
So
they used to do that.
You'll have to pay an entire $180 a year.
Ooh.
To watch Netflix.
It's not worth. I'll tell you what. I'm Nick Khan, my dear close personal friend.
How about
Nick
this?
Khan.
You and cheap ass Blaine can go in together. Because you can
because they've blocked that now.
No, if you can get it as a shared account and it's like $16 or whatever. Y'all can split it.
Yeah.
And then it's only $8.
How about this? Nick Khan, my dear close personal friend, brother of Tony. If you bring Raw back at 2 hours, I will purchase Netflix.
That's what I hope it goes to 2 hours with no commercials.
You know it's not gonna.
It's going to no commercials. They've announced that.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference anyway? It's that damn picture-in-picture thing on USA anyway.
But
it's too damn long, man.
I had a much different thought about all this than I think how you guys are taking this. I see WWE going to Netflix as the beginning of the end of cable.
We've kind of already reached that.
Well, I mean, like, we want to actually be seeing the ship sailing away.
You mean like no more bundles? Like you're saying, like even YouTube TV going away because all the shit's bundled there.
Right.
See, I think it's going to be an ebb and flow. I think it's going to come back to where people are going to get tired of outsourcing all their shit and paying 14 different bills.
Well,
you just pay
what I mean is the businesses of Comcast and
Xfinity
and Spectrum and Cox, all that stuff is, I think.
I don't think Cox will ever go away.
Well, what annoys me is that at this day and age, why can't I buy cable TV with the 10 channels I watch and only pay for that?
Correct.
I don't need the Oprah Winfrey fucking network.
That'd be one.
I don't need CNN. I don't need Fox. I don't need Hallmark.
Well, you don't need Fox News. You want Fox for football.
Fox News. But yeah, Fox News. I don't need MSNBC. I don't need C-SPAN.
Nobody
I don't need any of that
C-SPAN.
bullshit.
Nobody needs C-SPAN.
all I want are the regular channels with TNT, USA, TBS,
why TNT?
FX,
CBS.
and your ESPN channels.
There you go.
Other than that, I don't need all that bull crap. I ain't watching CBS Sports Network. I do not give a shit about Tulane playing Tulsa in a damn Conference USA game.
Then you ain't betting enough.
I can bet on it without. I ain't watching it anyway.
Wednesday night Conference USA football.
Yeah, I don't. It's stupid. I have
What-
never watched the Vox channel or whatever the hell they had. All those
No,
things.
that's Vor.
I have literally. So with YouTube TV, you can remove channels from your lineup,
Oh, I haven't tried that.
and I have removed more than half of them. Because so that way I don't have to scroll through them damn things.
It's a good idea.
Well, sometimes I like to see what's up. Like, I'll be flipping in like Vice TV. I'll have on like a superhero movie I want to watch.
Well, here's the secret. I don't watch anything on regular cable unless it's sports related.
Why is
I'm
that
not
a
going to go
secret?
watch Batman on TBS because I have to watch commercials. I can watch that shit on HBO Max.
It's not HBO Max anymore. It's just Max.
I can watch it on Max or Plex or whatever. So I don't need that crap.
It's true. This is all true.
Davis,
You remember growing up back in the day
but
when the damn president was on TV?
so
You couldn't watch
Okay.
nothing.
okay, so there's a different avenue for that. Now let's get into my portion. You're excited because you're back on Twitter X, right?
X.
How long is it going to be before you have to pay to have that without ads? Because my shit is blown up with ads. I have half naked women all over my feed.
There's a lot of porn on X now.
Hey, guess what? I just joined. I'm now blue check marked on
What
X.
does that mean?
I pay for X now.
So do you get ad? Are there half naked chicks?
My ads are greatly reduced.
Greatly reduced.
Yep.
No, if you pay
It-
for it, they just send them straight to your DMs.
At the next level, you get them completely reduced.
But it's almost like
what is it?
Facebook.
Facebook ads
now-
everywhere.
There's shit all over my Facebook from people and things that I don't subscribe to any of this. Like, what is this?
Instagram.
You have to go to your
Instagram
own
is
feed.
listening to me because anything we
Oh, yeah.
talk about and my phone's in the area, like boom, it's an ad. I'm like, what? Why
Hey,
is
Timmy's
it-
Instagram penis.
I already get those. And TikTok used to be fun. It was just little videos. Now
Everything's ads.
I got Justin Nunley telling me to go to his damn TikTok shop. I don't want to go to your TikTok shop. Entertain me, motherfucker. 30
My biggest thing
seconds
I
at a
hate
time.
most about Twitter now is that you click on a video, like you watch a video that's on your timeline, and you click on the comments, and there's other videos and shit that have nothing to do with it in the comments now.
Mhm.
Like, what is this?
They are
But
clever.
reels are
I-
like the greatest thing ever.
I
Dude,
at
I
least-
I can sit on my phone and scroll through reels for hours.
here's what I understand Twitter X whatever needing to sell ads because the son bitch just bought it for $40 billion or whatever it was. But Facebook, same dudes own that for years. You're just being greedy now at this point.
Duh.
My whole Facebook is nothing but other people's shit. And then like random, I'm scrolling through and I see my friend Emily's post from December 19th. What the hell am I seeing that for? That was a month ago.
Yeah, it used to be nice when like you saw recent
It was
stuff.
all in timeline order.
Actually, today I saw a post and DM'd a friend and was like, "Oh, that's funny." And they were like, "I don't even remember making that post." I'm like, "How long ago was this shit?" Hey, social media, get your shit together.
Get your shit together. Completely off topic. I was just actually, ironically enough, scrolling through X, and I saw a picture from our dear friend Efren, the game event on Premier Streaming Network, and we might have to make a trip to Waterloo, Iowa this summer because they just hung Josh Odom's plaque up.
Oh,
So I'm thinking we're gonna have to go to Waterloo this summer.
I mean, Iowa, but I guess yeah.
I'll be up that way in July.
There you
July.
June law,
The end of June, early July.
There you go, July.
July.
That's what I said. July.
That's what I said in Indiana one time. July still.
That sounds like a terrible like handball rich people game. Are we ready to roll here? Are we ready to go back in time?
Let's do it. 1988.
Booyah.
Great
Now that Dave's ruined the surprise, this week we're going back to
1988.
January 24th.
1988.
And we're going to watch the first ever WWF Royal Rumble. I mean, well, we already watched it. We're going to tell
It
you.
was not the first ever.
It wasn't?
They did it several times in the
Well, it
years
was the
leading
first
up.
ever on
televised
TV.
one. Quit being a dick.
I'm just saying.
They also had King of the Ring in 88. Shut your face. However, before we get to that show, let's see what was happening in your world yesterday. Let's run through some events filter free. Up first, stories that missed the cut. January 1st, College Bowl time. Number 3, Florida State beats number 5, Nebraska, 31-28.
He forgot how this works, didn't he?
With what? Oh, yeah.
Go Knowles.
Number 3, Florida State beats number 5, Nebraska, 31-28. Number 4, Syracuse ties with number 16, Auburn, 16-16. And number 8, Michigan State beats number 16, USC, 20-17 in the Rose Bowl. Once again, as we have the last few weeks, because the Super Bowls have been trash every year we've done, we'll be covering a bowl game later on in the show.
Good news with that Syracuse Auburn game. Auburn is used to kissing their sister, so
War Eagle, Paul.
I almost did hook. Can't do this anymore. That's classless and disrespectful. January 2nd, Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney and U.S. President Ronald Reagan signed the Canada-U.S. Free Trade Agreement.
NAFTA.
That's not NAFTA.
That's the Kufta.
CUFTA.
CUFTA.
January 3rd, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher becomes the longest-serving Prime Minister of the 20th century.
So hot.
Margaret Thatcher?
In 1922.
Ugh. She looks like everyone's grandmother if they were one person.
What? That's
Like you took all the grandmas and just mushed them together to be Margaret Thatcher. January 3rd, Cinemax holds a concert entitled Roy Orbison and Friends, and the performers included Bonnie Raitt, Bruce Springsteen, and Elvis Costello.
That's weird.
Pretty woman.
If they'd have done it at,
Street,
they'd have done it at 2 a.m., there'd have been naked hookers everywhere on stage.
Do you think at some
You've
point,
seen Bonnie Rat's nipples.
Bonnie Rat.
do you think at some point during the show, Bruce Springsteen was like, hey, do you know what would have been a great idea? If we could have done this concert when, I don't know, he was still alive. That would have been fun. January 12th, Willie Stargell, outfielder and first baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates, heads into the Baseball Hall of Fame, which they just...
He's no Joe Mauer.
No, which Adrian Beltre I'm with, Todd Helton I'm with, Joe Mauer, that's
Fat
a hard
ass
sell.
Willie Stargell.
Skinny ass Joe Mauer.
Yeah, that's a hard
He's
sell.
not skinny either. He's fat.
2,100 hits and 900 RBIs get you in the Hall now. That's crazy.
He was a
Well, they're going to put him in the Canadian wing, which one day Joey Votto will own.
Joey Votto's Canadian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's big time Canadian.
Doesn't count.
He's not French Canadian.
He's
He's from Toronto.
That's good. Good. January 13th.
And he's hilarious. So
That's your own opinion. We'll be the
His
judge
mom
of that.
has long nipples.
only when it's cold in Toronto.
January 13th, Steve Garvey, Major League Baseball first baseman known for his time with the Dodgers and Padres.
I
retired.
love him on Family Feud.
You stole my line.
Neither one of you guys know who Steve Garvey is.
Survey says
Oh, my goodness.
no.
January 16th, former Beatles bassist George Harrison releases a new single, Got My Mind Set on You.
I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you.
And it's
I
gonna
got my
take-
mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. Well, it's gonna take time. Whole lot of precious time.
Do it.
Do
it
Are we
Do
singing
it.
it in a round?
To do it right. It topped the Billboard charts, this song, as it should have. January 16th, the NFL franchise St. Louis Cardinals announced their upcoming move to Phoenix. The next day, the 17th, the Broncos beat the Browns in the game now known as the Fun Bowl, 38-33. That
The
same day,
Fun
Washington
Bowl.
beat Minnesota 17-10 to win the NFC title, setting up one of the worst Super Bowls ever.
I've seen a lot of games with fumbles in them.
The fumble. Why do the Broncos and the Browns always get titled games?
The fumble, the drive were back-to-back seasons
Well, why?
because they were good. I don't know.
Nah, not really. Ernest
January
Bauer.
19th.
Not as good as the butt fumble.
You're right. He later played for the Bears. January 19th. The television show 48 Hours premieres on CBS.
The
How long
movie
did it last?
Longer than 48 hours.
Okay.
January
Was
20th.
that the one with Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Mm.
Kush, a current affair.
The current affair. January 19th. Oh, I just read that one. January 20th. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has its third induction class. This year, it's the Beach Boys, the Beatles, the Drifters, Bob Dylan, the Supremes, and Les Paul.
Ooh,
I want to take you to Bermuda.
Bermuda, Bahama.
Mama,
Come on, pretty
mama.
Can
My
we
first ever concert I attended was the Beach Boys.
Can we talk about how it took 3 classes to get the Beatles in? Are they
And the
not
Beach Boys.
Are they not first ballot Hall of Famers? I'm just
And they got in after the Beach Boys because they suck.
yeah. They don't suck.
Did you ever hear the story of the Beach Boys and the Beatles? What with Brian Wilson, was he the lead singer of the Beach Boys? He actually went insane because like literally insane because of the Beatles.
Well, yes, the Bare Naked Ladies sing a song about him.
Because
Called Brian Wilson.
he they released Animal Sounds or Pet Sounds, and they're like, this is going to be the greatest album released ever. And then
It
literally
was.
a month later, the Beatles released the White Album, and it just crushed them.
Hot
Should've
take
been
here,
mentally
Beach Boys over the Beatles.
I mean, you've said it several times, so it's not really a hot take anymore. We know.
It's a
Dave's
shitty
take.
take.
Beach Boys over the Beatles. Beatles don't have one good hit. I don't want to hear that.
That's
shit.
a horse.
You're right. They don't. They've got like 50 of them.
They
31.
suck. And Paul McCartney's an idiot face.
We
And
literally
John
just-
Lennon should have been shot.
We literally just sang a George Harrison song for like 8
Right.
minutes on this show.
By the way, he was a Beatle.
He was a Beatle.
Not then. He was a love bug.
That's
That's because they had all died except for him.
Get it? Love bug?
I liked it. It was a Volkswagen. January 22nd, Mike Tyson successfully defends his heavyweight boxing title by TKOing Larry Holmes in the 4th round in Atlantic City.
Fat ass Larry Holmes.
January 27th, the Supreme Court
Final.
the Supreme Court approves the nomination of Anthony Kennedy unanimously. Never happen again.
Who?
January 28th, guard of the day. What?
It's John's brother.
It's true. Guard of the Denver Nuggets, Michael Adams, makes at least one three-pointer in his then record 79th straight game in a loss against the legendary Indiana Pacers. The streak would end the next game.
Never heard of him.
It was gentleman Chris Adams' brother.
It's true.
He likes
That is
trailer
true.
parks
Trailer parks and hookers.
and cocaine.
January 29th, a record NBA crowd gathers to watch Bird Celtics against the Motor City Bad Boys in the Silverdome. 61,983 people. The Pistons won 125-108.
I was there.
Were you?
No, you weren't. Liar.
How weird would it be to live in Tampa and your mom's like, hey, we're going to go to the Silverdome
In
in
January.
January.
Seems like a very bad idea.
What are we doing? Watching the Pistons and the Celtics play.
The bad thing
This
is
is all
they're,
very weird.
they're in Pontiac, Michigan in January. They actually sold 87,000 tickets, but they were all snowed in.
Yeah, they all died.
I wore my Charlotte Hornets jersey.
You should have. I mean, they weren't a team yet, but you still should have. January 29th, Detroit Tigers outfielder Kirk Gibson signs a 3-year deal with the LA Dodgers. The next season, he created one of the most legendary moments in baseball history against the Oakland A's in the World Series.
He went yard.
He went yard off Eck.
Who?
What a great at bat. I love watching that at bat. It's tremendous. Kirk Gibson's a beast. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
For one home run? No.
That one moment should get you in.
No.
Well, let's look. Let's look at the little box score trivia a little early. Let's look at the career stats for Kirk Gibson. See if
Shitty.
he's because he was also a manager for a few years. I think he did half-ass okay. Kirk Gibson.
He is not in the Hall of Fame.
His last season was 1995.
Yep.
He played for 17 seasons, 268, 255 home runs, 870 ribbies for his career.
He's no
Yeah.
Joe Mauer.
No, that's
He's not
Joe,
even a Joe Mauer.
it's not even Joe Mauer level. January 31st, the Denver Broncos get murdered in the Super Bowl against Washington 42-10. Your MVP is quarterback Doug Williams.
Yeah, weren't the Broncos? They were winning that game like 10-0.
Yeah, and then Timmy Smith happened.
Otis Nixon is better than Kirk Gibson. I said
That's Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend Doug Williams.
And then Timmy Smith celebrated his Super Bowl emergence by going to prison for cocaine.
Idiot.
Hanging out with Otis Nixon.
And Andy Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne. Mountain Dufresne. January 1st, we head to the Orange Bowl as number 2 Miami beats number 1 Oklahoma.
We should probably announce it as Stories in the Wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't get confused.
We are what was I going to say? This is Stories.
I don't know. You fell asleep for a second.
January 1st, we head to the Orange Bowl as number 2 Miami beats number 1 Oklahoma 20-14 and is crowned the national champions. The game featured 2 undefeated teams with the 11-0 independent Miami Hurricanes and the 11-0 Big 8 champion Oklahoma Sooners. This game was billed as the game of the century. Fueling this mythology was the recent history between the two teams. In the previous 3 seasons, Oklahoma had one national title and was runner-up 2 other times. And while only losing 2 games in that entire 3-year window, both of them were championship games, both losses came against the Miami Hurricanes. This was also the 4th straight bowl game for the Hurricanes under Jimmy Johnson, back when that meant something. However, Johnson's bowl record was 0-3. Adding even more to the story, the 2 coaches, Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer, were both former players at the University of Arkansas, and the 2 had a rocky relationship, to say the least. The game was broadcast by NBC and had 74,760 people live in attendance. Dan Crikey, Bob Trumpy, and Tom Hammond were on the call.
To date, this is the only time the opposing head coaches from a college national championship football game each later served as head coaches of the same professional football team and won the Super Bowl with that team.
It's because Switzer won with Johnson's roster.
The Dallas Cowboys.
They're also terrible since then.
Although Oklahoma was a slight 3-point favorite in the game, Miami's defense set the tone, holding Oklahoma to just 255 yards of total offense, and never was in trouble throughout the game. Middle linebacker Bernard Clark, a backup middle linebacker who was forced to start after Miami starting middle linebacker George Merritt Jr. was suspended for failing a drug test, was named the MVP of the Orange Bowl after recording 14 tackles, with 12 being unassisted.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. The Canes had a junior wide receiver at the time. I want to talk. Oh, and I forgot to put the word about in. Michael Irvin.
This is not where I thought you were going with this.
No.
I thought we were going to get Barry Switzer carrying a gun at the airport.
Nope. On July 29th, 1998, Irvin allegedly assaulted fellow Cowboys offensive lineman Everett McIver. Whatever. He's no MacGyver.
That's true.
The initial dispute stemmed from Irvin demanding that MacGyver vacate a barber's chair so that Irvin would not have to wait for a haircut. Wow, this is a dumb argument already. MacGyver and Irvin soon began to brawl in the shop with fellow Cowboy Leon Lett, who's great at handling balls, attempting to break it up.
Thank you for stealing my joke.
During the course of the dispute, Irvin grabbed a pair of scissors and stabbed MacGyver in the neck, barely missing his carotid artery.
He must have heard about Sid and Arn Anderson.
And you wanted to talk about Barry Switzer carrying a gun in an airport. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones reportedly brokered a 6-figure settlement between Irvin and MacGyver in exchange for MacGyver's silence to prevent MacGyver from pursuing criminal charges against Irvin. Holy shit.
I have never heard this story.
Oh, I heard about when it happened.
I'm going to stab you in the neck, quite literally, over a damn haircut. Love it.
Don't get that bowl cut.
Bowl cut.
In June 2001, a year following his NFL retirement, Irvin was arrested for felony cocaine possession. Shocker. But he sort of cleaned up. NFL Network removed Irvin from its coverage of Super Bowl LVII. That's 57 for the rest of us folks.
Thank you.
In February 2023, after 23, by the way, last year, after allegations of sexual misconduct toward a woman at his hotel in the Phoenix area. Though surveillance video showed him interacting with the woman, Irvin told a Dallas-Fort Worth radio station that he had no recollection of any incident because he had been inebriated. That always works.
Yeah.
By the way, this was about I cliff notes this. This was about his 5th sexual misconduct allegation against him. Like, dude can't keep it in his pants. Definitely, allegedly.
Yeah. Hey, why were you? Why were you?
He didn't get in trouble for this one because he's back on TV. So,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he didn't get in trouble for a lot of them, but we talked about the smoke fire thing with Michael Jackson.
It's true.
Same thing with Michael Irvin.
And it's his hair.
If
also.
42 women claim that you keep trying to be a raper,
flick their bean.
yeah,
Deshaun Watson.
against their will. The garden is closed, sir. Get away from my beans.
Well, I think it's time Timmy grabs a pair of scissors here because this is the last one of these for the month.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Vernon and Waugh. Vernon with a great left.
Here it is. Page. Pressure with 3. Weston's going to run the ball. Makes a guy miss. Comes down to over the second rafter. Off the floor. Nothing but net. Through the window. Off the wall. Nothing but net. You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
Here we go. I am irresponsible and lost the score sheet from the first week. So as of right now, it is 12
Dave
to
was
9.
winning by like 9.
Yeah,
12
No,
to-
Dave was winning
I'm winning by a
like
lot
9.
more.
It's 12 to 9 was what I have right here.
Oh, I smoked him last week.
Did I
No,
not keep
I
score?
actually we were close last week. It was.
I
the
think I
first
beat
week.
you by like 5 last week, so I'm up by like 8 or 9.
All right. Well, according to my
We'll
sheet,
say
it's
it's
12 to 9.
tied, and we'll go from there.
There you go. So we're doing 1988 NFL leaders. I was going to be a complete
Hold on,
dick.
1988, 89, or 87, 88?
Oh, you know what? I got to go back a season. Thank you for asking. I do that a lot. 1987. I was going to be a complete dick and start this off with interceptions thrown leaders, but I won't do that. So we're going to start with, where am I at here? I got to find my passing touchdown leaders.
Joe
Dan
Montana.
Marino.
Joe Montana led the league. Dan Marino was second,
John Elway.
John Elway.
Got it first.
tied for eighth.
Jim
Boomer
Kelly.
Esiason.
No Boomer.
Phil
Jim
Simms.
Kelly.
Jim Kelly tied for eighth. Phil
Doug
Simms,
Williams.
10th.
Randall Cunningham.
Doug Williams, no. Randall Cunningham tied
Warren
for fourth.
Moon.
Warren Moon, 7th.
Dave Craig.
Dave Craig tied for 4th.
Bernie Kosar.
6th with 22.
Finally.
So you guys have one to go.
Lomax.
Neil Lomax, 3rd with 24. Clean sweep. You got all of them.
How is Jim Everett not on there?
In 88, he was. So you're welcome. Montana, Marino, Lomax, Cunningham, Craig, Kosar, Moon, Elway, Kelly.
What was that? 6-4 or
Sim.
5-5?
What did I say? It was 12 to 9. So it was
I got Montana, Cunningham,
6 to 4.
Kosar, John Elway, Jim Kelly, Randall Cunningham, and Warren Moon. 7.
It was not 7-3.
I
I
got,
got
7.
Dave Craig, Lomax, Boomer Esiason.
Boomer
Boomer
was on
Esiason
there.
wasn't on there.
Or-
Idiot head. You
So Dave
Phil
got-
Simms.
I got to try to remember this. Dave got Montana, Cunningham, Kosar, Moon.
Cunningham.
I said
You
that.
already
Kelly.
said Cunningham.
Who
Kelly.
got Phil Sims?
He did. But I got
Okay.
Elway and Kelly.
Okay.
No,
so then-
I got Elway.
I was before
You
you,
got Kelly.
hose bag. I was before you.
I love
Let's
this.
do tape.
Either
So
way.
then
Let's
Timmy
move
got
on.
Timmy did Marino, Lomax, Craig, and Sims. So 6 to 4.
Okay. Dave's trying to say there were 14 of them. It was 11-3.
Could have been Montana, Cunningham.
Just
Moon.
move on. Stop
Elway.
it.
I'm gonna.
No one wants to hear this shit.
So, I kind of want to hear it. So we're gonna do
Bernie
I missed-
Kosar. I got that one. I got
Shut
7.
the fuck up and move on.
rushing
Greatest
yard.
ever. I got
Rushing
11.
yard.
I got Dave Craig, bitch.
You did, and Lomax, but Dave did get Bernie Kosar. So we're gonna do rushing yard leaders.
Ernest Biner.
Hold on, before you guys just spouting names up, I'm gonna tell you, I'm surprised with it. There's only 2 people with over 1,000 yards.
Okay.
Eric
Ernest
Dickerson.
Biner.
So Timmy says Ernest Biner. No. What did you
Walker
say?
Dickerson. Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker 6th.
Eric
891.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. No. Eric Dickerson 2nd.
Kurt Warner.
3rd. 985.
James Brooks.
No.
Eddie
No.
Eddie Green.
Nope.
Give us some teams.
Roger Craig.
8th. 815.
Nice.
Lorenzo White.
No. The Raiders.
Marcus
Car-
Allen.
10th. Very good. The Cardinals.
Bo Jackson.
No. The Falcons. You already got the Raiders. Marcus Allen.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, there
yeah.
could be 2. You didn't.
There's not. The Falcons, the Saints, and the Oilers. And the Rams.
Charles White.
Charles White led the league 1,374. I don't know who that is.
Ernest Givens.
Who?
Oh, he was a receiver. I'm thinking Oilers. Ernie
One of the-
White Shoes Johnson.
No, one of these guys has the best name ever.
O.J. Simpson.
No. One,
No, he was
one more
dead.
guess each. I don't know if you guys are going to get
Should have
these.
been dead.
These are pretty,
Best
pretty,
name ever.
pretty,
Nate
obscure.
Beans.
No,
He didn't come till like 92.
that's true.
I'm out. I got
Here we go. 9th of the St. Louis Cardinals.
John Riggins.
No.
Oh.
Stump Mitchell.
Stump. That's Timmy's nickname.
7th of the Atlanta Falcons, Gerald Riggs. 5th of the New
I
Orleans.
said Gerald Riggins.
That's not what you said. 5th of the New Orleans
Reno
Saints,
Riggins.
Ruben Mays. And 4th of the Houston Oilers, Mike Rozier.
Nebraska legend. Mike
Here we
Rozier.
go. Let's do receiving touchdowns.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
There's a lot of people. Dave got that one first. Dave got a lot of people on this one. There's
Eddie Green.
Eddie Green, no.
Mark Duper.
Mark Duper tied for 3rd with 8.
Art Monk. Al Toon.
I
Andre
hate
Reed.
Dave.
None of those.
Mark
Good.
Clayton.
Oh, yeah, no Mark Clayton. Oh, yeah, there is Mark Clayton, tied for 7th.
Don Beebe.
No.
John.
Olerud.
No. Oh, I bet there's some running backs. Roger Craig.
Hold on, I
Who
lost
was
my
the
spot.
Guy.
Who's that white son of a bitch from Seattle again?
Steve Largent.
Tied for 3rd. I don't know why Timmy's giving clues away.
We have a good chemistry. I just feed him. I know what he's thinking. You know, I try to give it to him.
There are
Chris
0
Collinsworth.
running backs on this list.
Chris Collinsworth.
Not a chance.
No, Homer.
Right now it is 16 to 25.
I'm still down by 9.
Let's see, we got Denver, Chicago, Washington, Minnesota.
Will you stop saying Washington?
No,
Art Monk.
no. Minnesota, Kansas City, St. Louis,
Randy Moss.
the Giants, who I believe is the only tight end on this list, and the Eagles.
Ooh, Giants tight ends.
Well, I was collecting jerseys and I got
John Taylor?
No, and I got my Giants jersey. I almost bought this guy, but I got Carl Banks instead.
Carlton Fisk.
No,
Carlton Banks.
no.
Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's
One more
Carlton
guess
Banks.
each, because this is bombed in a way I didn't see coming.
I'm out.
Steve Largent. 'Cause
Already
I had it
guessed.
first. I had
Here
it
we go.
first.
All tied for 7th. Vance Johnson, Chicago Bears legend Willie Gault, Gary Clark from Washington, Anthony Carter.
Stop saying Washington.
No, and Carlos Carson of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Carlos Carson.
That's
Who's
his
the
name.
guy for Philly?
Tied for 3rd, JT Smith of the Cardinals and Mark Bavaro of the New York Giants.
Mark Bavaro.
And 2nd of the Philadelphia Eagles, Mike Quick.
He was quick.
He was quick. And that was box score trivia. It is 25-16.
I win.
Dave wins the month again.
No, I win.
This game is not called I Win. January 5th, college basketball and NBA legend Pistol Pete Maravich dies of heart failure at the age of 40.
Pow.
Wow. Pete doesn't get talked about nearly enough anymore, but he's one of the 3 greatest collegiate basketball players ever, up there with Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton. How good was he exactly?
Kenyon Martin.
Who?
Kenyon Martin.
Shut up. How good was he exactly? How about averaging 44.2 points a game over the course of his career at LSU
We had Nick Saban.
before a 3-point line or a shot clock? Also, because of NCAA rules at the time, Maravich was actually prohibited to play with the varsity team in his first year because freshmen were not allowed to play varsity. He still did okay, winning the 1970 Collegiate Player of the Year, 3-time All-American, 3-time SEC Player of the Year, 3-time NCAA scoring leader, and the all-time NCAA scoring leader. And I would say that's pretty much safe at this point from being broken with the way college basketball is played now. With all these accolades, Maravich was picked 3rd overall in the 1970 draft by the Atlanta Hawks. The 2 picks in front of him were Bob Lanier and Rudy Tomjanovich, so not bad.
They picked Tomjanovich to coach because he didn't do much as a player.
That was the
punched in
Rockets
face.
later.
Remember when he got punched?
He did. I do remember that.
Although Maravich was unworldly in college, it all came crashing down once he made it to the NBA. In his first 4 years with the Atlanta Hawks, Maravich averaged more than 24 points per game, but never had much help anywhere else on the team, and he never made it past the first round of the playoffs.
Because the Hawks are trash.
Yes. Hell, Maravich only made it to the playoffs a total of 4 times in his career. Made it into the second round his last year with the Boston Celtics. Maravich is mostly known for his time with the New Orleans Jazz, but being a brand new franchise, he had diddly squat for help on that team. And for 6 years, they were complete ass. And they only made it 5 and then moved to Utah.
Where they don't allow music.
Thank you, basketball.
Maravich would end his career as a 4-time All-Star that averaged 24.2 points per game. After many years of battling knee injuries, Maravich bowed out of the NBA, but he'll never be forgotten for his incredible scoring he showcased in college. Why the hell did he go to LSU other than his daddy was there? Could you imagine if he played for Could you imagine if he played for a Carolina, a Duke, an Indiana, a Kentucky, a Kansas?
He used to have shitty knees.
Not then, not in college.
After injuries forced his retirement from the game in late 1980, Maravich became a recluse for 2 years. Through it all, Maravich said he was searching, quote, for life. He tried the practices of yoga and Hinduism, read Trappist monk Thomas Merton's The Seven-Story Mountain, I don't even know what the hell that is, and took an interest in the field of UFOlogy.
I love it.
The study of unidentified flying objects. Okay, he's crazy. He also explored vegetarianism and macrobiotics, adopting a vegetarian diet in 1982. Jeez. On January 5th, 1988, Maravich collapsed and died of heart failure at age 40. How'd that vegetarian shit work out for you?
Not great.
Not great. An autopsy revealed the cause of death to be a rare congenital defect. He had been born with a missing left coronary artery, a vessel that supplies blood to the muscle fibers of the heart.
That seems important.
What do genitals have to do with his heart?
Shut up. I cannot wait to talk about this next story because it is
Got a
one of the
dick on his artery.
because it is one of the dumbest
He's got a
things.
dick on his heart.
I tried,
Got a
guys.
heart on.
I tried to move on, guys.
Got a heart
I tried to move on. They won't let me. This is what you get. Lord. Let's talk about one of the dumbest things ever uttered on television in history. January 15th, NFL analyst Jimmy, and I use that term loosely, Jimmy the Greek Snyder goes on CBS NFL Today and makes several racist comments, leading to his firing the next day. Jimmy the Greek's history was spotty at best. He dabbled in a few different things early in his life until getting into sports gambling in Las Vegas in the 1950s. In 1962, Jimmy was convicted of interstate transportation of bets and wagering information, as well as conspiracy and violating the Federal Communications Act because he was caught giving betting information over the phone.
Hold on. You were transferring thoughts across the state?
Bets and wagering
Can't do that.
information.
Info. Yes, thoughts.
I don't know what that means. What do you?
He was literally just telling them his thoughts. I mean,
This is a think-free zone.
how is that?
Yeah.
How is that a crime?
Well, it was the 60s, Tim.
Not allowed to transfer thoughts across state lines. Have to keep them in Nevada.
He was fined $50,000 in 1962, which would be $511,000 today, and labeled officially as a convicted felon. But back then, that shit didn't matter. In 1974, he was pardoned by President Gerald Ford.
Gave him a tip.
Of all the people to pardon, why do you care about a gambling guy? Like I've never understood that. His gambling background led him to being a contributor on the NFL Today for 12 years. Snyder would appear with commentator Brent Musburger.
I gamble. Put me on TV.
There you go. And you probably won't say racist shit on the air.
Nope.
Maybe. Who knows?
Because I'm not an idiot.
And
He does enjoy racist ice cream.
Whitey's ice cream is really good.
There you go. He would predict the results with Brent Musburger of the NFL games upcoming. Of course, with Snyder being a complete clown, he eventually got into a fight with Brent Musburger. Who gets into a fight with Brent Musburger?
Shut your old face, asshole.
The fight started because Snyder made comments about the husband of then sportscaster Phyllis George, whose husband was Kentucky Governor John Brown. Fast forward a few years, Snyder would jump the shark.
So, what did Jimmy the Greek say that got him fired? During a television interview, this dumbass said many blacks were superior athletes because of breeding from their times of slavery, and that there are only whites in sports because of coaching.
What?
We literally just did a story on Pistol Pete Maravich.
Snyder's remark touched off.
Well, I mean, we kind of backed up his point. Bad knees, penis on his heart.
heart on.
They don't have dicks on their hearts over there.
That would have been the best line ever. The blacks don't have dicks on their hearts.
Snyder's remarks touched off a storm of protests across the country from viewers, television and radio commentators, and even some civil rights leaders. Snyder apologized for his remarks moments after they were aired and said he did not mean to offend anyone. What did you think was going to happen when you said that?
You may not have been trying to, but you did a fine job.
You're dumb.
At the time, Snyder was working on a one-year contract worth about $750,000 a year.
Which, by the way, in today's money is like
It's like $1
$2.5
billion.
Yeah, it's not a
That's
billion.
what Netflix just paid WWE.
Let's see.
For 10 years. God, I can't watch
This
Raw
just
for
keeps
10
getting
years.
better. This guy's an idiot. Was an idiot.
Yeah, he could still be.
He did.
Rest in peace. In the same WRC TV interview, Snyder, whose remarks were termed reprehensible by CBS, also commented the only sports realm in which white people then dominated was coaching, and that if black people were to, quote, take coaching, as I think everyone wants them to, there is not going to be anything left for the white people, close quote. Holy shit.
Good.
Snyder Snyder, during his remarks, emphasized he was not meaning to be derogatory, but said the only thing that, quote, because I got to use these quotes, whites are in control of coaching jobs. The black talent is beautiful. It's great. It's out there. The only thing left for whites is a couple coaching jobs. Insert Bill
fucking
Belichick.
idiot.
No,
Honoring Cam.
you know he was sitting there going, "Yo, you guys, listen. I'm trying to make a point here. Why are you getting out of frame? Just listen to what I'm saying."
In 1991, Snyder sued CBS Network for age discrimination, defamation, and breach of contract. I'm sorry, what? Yes, it's because you're old. It's not because you're racist. Snyder maintained that his firing aggravated his personal health problems, according to court papers.
That doesn't make sense.
Bro.
I gotta eat fast food now. I'm broke.
Snyder's attorney.
I got a dick on my heart and I can't live.
I got the Maravich Peter heart.
Maravich Peter. If whoever does the art for this show is worth their salt, they're gonna put a heart with the Pete Maravich jersey and a dick on it. Snyder's attorney Jeffrey L. Liddell stated that by, quote, firing and repudiating Mr. Snyder, CBS quashed his dream,
Oh, I'm
his
sorry.
dignity, and his spirit, but his racism still lived on.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Snyder lost the case. Shocker.
Weird. By the way, 750 grand in 1988 is 1.9 million today.
I love this guy. I could do 6 months on this guy.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to come up again at some point. It's not like this is the only dumb thing he ever said ever.
Yeah.
Just the worst.
Jimmy the Greek is just
All right,
content for days, man.
So like the people that knew him that worked at CBS, like even some of the African American guys, they were like, he likes to talk and sound smarter than he actually is because he's a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just him like grabbing a shovel and be like, "Hey, how much shit can I dump on myself?"
One more
I'm
thing
so
before I
smart.
leave. I want to tell you guys how much better Jim Everett is than Randall Cunningham.
It's the quadriceps because they were slaves and they don't have dicks on their hearts. They
Bill
have them in
Burr-
their pants, which is why the white men can't get laid. Oh, no, wait a minute.
Bill Burr, and also I need to know why he always dressed like Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Bill Burr does a phenomenal bit on Jimmy the Greek. It's hilarious.
Colonel Sanders.
January 25th. Speaking of Colonels, we kind of made a decision as a team as the year started to not do four
We
stories.
did not,
anymore.
actually.
We did.
You made the decision.
I did make that decision. It wasn't even my idea.
It was my idea.
There you go,
Okay.
dingbat.
Oh, well, I'm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Take that.
It
little
gives
arm
us an
shove in your
opening
ass.
segment to talk about, you knothead.
Peterman. However,
no, I thought you were talking about this story. I did.
no.
Oh, okay.
I said normally we only do 3 stories now, but we had to do a 4th because this is the Iran Contra scandal. So, what led up to, or what kicked off the Iran Contra scandal was
It was a woman just pushing
Yes.
an iron.
was the interview here in 1988 between Dan Rather and then Vice President George H.W. Bush on CBS Evening News. By this time, Dan Rather had been in the news business for 38 years. If you're unaware of the Iran Contra scandal and the fallout from it, read a book once in a while. Rather had covered everything newsworthy in the United States, from Watergate to the assassination of JFK, the Challenger disaster, and other events as well. The news of the Iran Contra scandal broke, and who better to discuss with the Vice President Bush on 60 Minutes than Dan Rather? Making the interview even more contentious,
Peter Jennings.
Peter Jennings. Actually, that was, yeah,
Bill O'Reilly.
no.
The one that had all the ratings.
He
Peter
just would have
Jennings.
been screaming the entire time.
Yeah, Bill O'Reilly's a moron.
Well, do it live.
Who's the guy from NBC?
Brian Williams.
Not in 1988.
No, Tom Brokaw.
Tom
Tom
Brokaw.
Brokaw. That'd been
Yeah.
going
Much
too.
better. Much better plan.
Till he wasn't he like a
I think they're all
serial
rapists.
women
It's
toucher?
okay. They're all,
That
they're
was-
all rapists.
I mean, Matt Lauer. Was.
Michael Irvin would have been better to do this.
Matt Lauer had like a lock on his door.
He did because he's a weirdo.
Made him touch his pee-pee.
But
Robin Williams.
anyway, making this interview even more contentious was George Bush was actively running for president in 1989. Here's the basis of the scandal. Allow me to do it for you. You can put the book down. The United States, led by Vice President Bush, was trading weapons for hostages with Iran. On top of this, the Democrats passed a law that appropriated funds could not be used to help the Contras during the Iran-Iraq war. In response, Reagan's administration began using non-appropriated funds without the knowledge of the appropriate governmental arms.
This interview with then Vice President George Bush and CBS News anchor Dan Rather was viewed as one of the most explosive confrontations ever televised between a network anchorman and a high-ranking federal official. According to an article in the Washington Post, fellow broadcast journalists at other networks who did not want to be quoted by name said they were outraged and appalled at Rather's conduct during the interview and that his repeated badgerings and interruptions of the vice president were discourteous and unprofessional. Sort of like how all media is now.
Correct.
You want to know why I don't need CNN and Fox News and all that shit? Because they're all morons.
They're all full of shit, too.
Yes.
That's that too.
Maybe Dan Rather was just ahead of his time. Another newsman conceded that even though the interview produced no news, it was such a pyrotechnic spectacular that it became news. It was electrifying television, even if repulsive journalism. This is why the world of journalism needs more Walter Cronkites and less of all the shit we have today.
Yes, agreed.
Although I still fail to believe that Dan Rather and George Bush are creating pyrotechnics. It's a little...
Have you watched it? They're literally screaming at each other.
Well, yeah, but pyrotechnic, I mean, no. They're boring fucks.
Well, for old people.
But anyway, let's get back to this Dan Rather.
That tree is on my lawn.
On September 8th, 2004, Rather reported on 60 Minutes Wednesday that a series of memos critical of President George W. Bush, his son's Texas Air National Guard service record had long been discovered in the personal files of Lieutenant Bush's former commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Jerry B. Killian. I'm noticing a pattern here. He enjoys the Bushes. Once copies of the documents were made available on the internet, their authenticity was quickly called into question. Much of this was based on the fact that the documents were proportionally printed and displayed using other modern typographic conventions, usually unavailable. Usually unavailable on military typewriters of the 1970s. Falsifying documents. Rather, and CBS initially defended the story, insisting the documents had been authenticated by experts. Dave coughs. CBS was contradicted by some of the experts it originally cited, and later reported that its source for the documents, former Texas Army National Guard officer, Lieutenant Colonel Bill Burkett, had misled the network about how he had obtained them. Apparently, if you use Print Shop and do your own printing, you can't make that news.
How many lieutenant colonels does the Texas Army National Guard have?
47 billion.
Apparently.
On September 20th, 2004,
They
CBS
even have a major colonel.
Hey, welcome to the Guard. Here's your colonel, lieutenant colonel badge.
CBS retracted the story, rather stated, quote, "If I knew then what I know now, I would not have gone ahead with the story as it was aired and certainly would not have used the documents in question."
That's
Liar.
what called due process is called.
But on September 20th, 2007, Rather was interviewed on Larry King Live, commenting, Quote, nobody has proved the story is fraudulent, much less a forgery. The truth of the story stands up to this day. Dan
Well,
Rather.
he had to say that then because he was in the middle of a lawsuit
Yeah.
with CBS over his firing, in which he lost.
Now, he'd
Which-
be a great wrestling journalist.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know that I made this specific enough at the beginning. Apparently they were talking about George W. Bush was like not showing up and he was a terrible soldier and
Yeah. They said like, and then daddy got him out of going to Vietnam and this, that, and the other.
He really enjoyed Coke. Was another one.
Yeah.
well, I think he really did enjoy Coke. I mean,
It's. I mean,
it's pretty
it's hard to
well
argue.
known, I think.
I don't think he could be president without enjoying Coke, but just me.
I'm sure Biden does lines every Tuesday.
Yeah, sure. You've seen his energy levels.
And then he gets on a bike.
And falls.
Okay, pause. Got pee.
All right, I gotta put my kids to bed, so then we'll
Okay.
start back.
Okay, love you. High five pass.
Love you.
Love you. Love you, sister.
You too, baby. I'll see you after school tomorrow. Oh. I mean, I don't think Rather had to find a National Guard report to prove that George Bush was a moron.
Well, especially a fake one. Kevin Patrick is done as the announcer of SmackDown.
Yeah, they said that they were. I don't. And he was fine, unless you're going to bring in Mauro Ranallo, who's the best.
Yeah,
I mean,
that-
Jim Ross hasn't re-signed with AEW,
There's no chance he's going to SmackDown.
but he's not going. He can't go full time.
Right. The rumor I literally just read when I said that was they're going to go back after Mauro Ranallo.
Because Ronaldo hated Vince.
He did. Well,
And
made
loves
him have
Triple H.
a nervous fucking breakdown.
Yeah.
Man, Dijak is after some people right now on Twitter. I'm here for it.
He's awesome.
Said, imagine babyface Dijak giving his sunglasses to a fan like Bret Hart. And he said, "Bro, I literally yelled at my actual children when they were ringside. If I ever put my glasses on a kid, you can bet your ass I'm about to big boot the shades right off that little shit." And then he said, "I don't give the slightest shit about wrestling Okada unless he's the NXT champion. So you can take your fantasy booking nonsense and go fuck yourself with it." That's tremendous.
Whose mama has pancake nipples?
Yo, mom.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Do we need to wait for Dan Rather to get started, or what are we doing here?
What? It's
your
Dan
turn.
Rather's turn? That means it's my turn.
Mm.
Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro. Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears. My neck. My back.
Yep, I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahamas. Come on, pretty mama. Baby. We are some silly bitches, just so you know.
We are foxy though.
Not Fat Timmy is not.
I don't know. Them
Neither
khakis, man.
is Knothead Timmy
Look, I almost got muscle.
with your Paul Orndorff arm.
It's got a dimple.
It's weird.
I've
It
never
is.
seen a
It's
muscle.
very-
I've never seen a muscle go down.
All right,
in the
so quick story. When they put it back together,
You
the
make
guy
a
was
muscle and your arm makes a U.
the doctor told me, he goes, just so you know, when we put this cadaver tendon in, it's not going to be the right tension. It's not going to look like it's not going to look like this one. Through this area there will be a U. He's like, it's just going to be there. He goes, it's not cosmetically great, but you'll have all of your strength. I'm like, great.
Super.
So let's get into some music from January of 1988. Song number one, clue number one. This is a song recorded by American singer Belinda Carlisle
Mm.
for her second solo studio album.
Fudge balls.
That is not a song.
I'm
Clue number
drawing a blank.
two. This song was released as the album's lead single on September 14, 1987, and it topped the Billboard Hot 100 on December 5th, 1987, becoming Carlisle's only number one single in the United States.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm gonna be able to sing this song, every word of it, and I can't think of the fucking name of it.
Clue number three. After the 30th annual Grammy Awards ceremony, this was nominated for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, but lost out to Whitney Houston's and Fat Timmy's favorite, I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me. Clue number 3B. It was the main song from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Never seen it.
Me either.
Baby, he knows that's what ooh, heaven is a place of love. In heaven, love comes. Ooh, heaven, a place on earth. Heaven is a place on earth. I remember the first time I saw this video. You know what? Why don't we need to start keeping track of the songs that we like for Timmy's
Karaoke, so we can start seeing them on the bus. Like that one.
Yeah.
To hell with
Add that.
Judas. Let's sing Belinda Carlisle.
All right, Tim, add it. All right,
All
I got
right.
it. I got it.
10.
I got it.
Song number two, clue number one. This is a song written and first recorded by Montessorian. Yeah, it's an island. You know what I'm talking? Montessori. Okay. Anyway, musician Arrow, featured on his 1982 studio album.
Great first clue.
Yeah.
You're welcome. The song was later covered in 1987 by American singer David Johansen as his lounge singer persona, Buster Poindexter, and was released as the first single from his album, titled the same as the song.
Zoot
Really?
Suit Riot.
No, that's no. Really? Buster Poindexter ain't lighting it up for you. Okay.
Bonnie Rat.
These
The
songs
music-
are so awesome.
Yeah.
Clue number 3. It is. Clue number 3. The music video is unique in the fact that it crosses two identities. Despite being in the Buster Poindexter persona, the video begins with Johansson briefly mentioning his role as the frontman for the 1970s proto-punk band, the New York Dolls.
Mm-mm,
Saturday Night Fever.
nothing.
You all are completely terrible. Boom, boom.
Toyota's hot.
Boom, boom, boom. It's not Toyota. hot.
Toyota's
hot. I guess I could have dropped.
Corolla.
Could have dropped the. We. Feeling hot.
Need a Sienna. It's
Ole,
hot.
ole.
I can't imagine seeing that on the bus.
Toyota. Okay, no.
I love that Timmy. He was bragging about these songs. He's done 2, and you and I haven't even made a guess at any of them yet.
Oh, I
I need help
mean,
with
I
your-
knew the Belinda Carlisle. I just
Yeah.
couldn't. The name escaped me.
The songs are fire. You guys are just stupid.
That song sucks. All I ever think about is shitty Toyota cars when I hear that song.
Nothing wrong with Toyotas.
I think about Weekend at Bernie's, which is a awesome ass movie.
That is one of Dave's faves.
Song number 3, clue number 1. This is a 1987 song by American actor and singer Patrick Swayze from the soundtrack to the film Dirty Dancing.
Oh, fuck. What's the name of it?
I almost said Footloose like an idiot.
Clue that would have been fun. That was Kenny Loggins. Kenny Loggins
I know it.
from
She's
Dirty
the
Dancing.
wind.
I'm doing all right.
Clue number 2, the music
She's like the
video
wind. She's like the wind.
is Somebody close to me.
Look in her eyes.
She's out of my league. I'm fooling anything.
I've never heard this before.
She's like the wind. You've never seen Dirty Dancing?
No.
All right, I have a penis, and I'll admit to that. But you should see Dirty Dancing.
Because my parents loved me when I was little, so I never saw this.
It's
Look in her face.
what's her name? Jennifer.
She's so hot.
What's her name? Jennifer. She
Jennifer
was,
Grey.
Yeah, she was Ferris Bueller's sister.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I know who's in it.
This is before she got the nose job, which weirdly enough, she was much hotter before she got the nose
She's
job.
still hot. She to this day, she is still fire. She's on this show called Red Oaks on Prime. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's like there's 3 seasons, really good. And she's the guy's mom, and she is an absolute smoke
MILF.
show.
Yes, MILF. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, she's hot. Beautiful face. Like her body's good, but she has a beautiful face.
I wouldn't
I
kick
always
her
thought she was hot, even before the nose job.
I wouldn't kick
Yeah.
her out of bed. for
Better,
eating crumbs.
better before the nose job, I would argue.
I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
I just said that.
Jimmy the Greek back?
Oh, did you?
I said, well, I said I wouldn't kick her out of bed for leaving cookie crumbs.
Oh,
Is that all you got, Timmy? Because that was the shits.
hit the clip.
That was the shit.
Oh, it's time for Dave's Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
Maybe next time, think before it leaves.
Oh, Anna.
The score is Timmy C 2, TJ 1. Last week, is this the last week of the month?
Yep.
It is last week of the month. This is for all the marbles. We
got
have
four.
4 movies. 1988, there wasn't shit in January 88, so we're going for the whole year. Here we go. Movie number A with a budget of $50.6 million.
It's a lot.
In 1988, 50.6.
That's like 4011 Jimmy the Greeks.
That's
Our
Iron Man.
first movie this week grossed an impressive $351.5 million at the box office. That's like $12 billion today.
88.
This is an American fantasy comedy film. When a cartoon is accused of murder,
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Who framed Roger Rabbit?
TJ Stevens.
All I said was Roger Rabbit, so
Yep.
DJ gets it.
TJ now leads 5-2.
What? Because he knows I'm going to get the last 3.
When a cartoon is accused of murder, he enlists the help of a burnout private investigator to prove his innocence.
Sexiest
Who framed
cartoon ever.
Jessica Rabbit's a smoke.
Jessica Rabbit. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
She's not the sexiest ever, though.
Who is?
The chick on Cool Runnings. Or Cool Runnings. Cool
Oh, I know what
movie.
you're talking about. Yeah,
What?
Cool something.
it was a
Kim Basic
noir-
Cool World. Cool,
Cool
World.
World.
Yeah, it was a noir animation.
I was like, cool runnings. I see pride. I see power. I see a bad mother who don't want to. What?
You still alive? Yeah, man. All right. Movie number B on a budget of $18 million. Our second movie this week grossed more than $151.7 million at the box office.
It did good.
This is an American fantasy comedy drama. After making a wish at an antique fortune teller
Big.
machine called Zotar, Timmy C. Big.
I love
12-year-old
them
Josh wakes up
jumping.
to find himself mysteriously in the body of an adult.
I love him jumping on the trampolines.
That's the best scene in the movie.
Jandy's home.
Hi, Jandy.
Movie number C on a budget of $9 million.
Ooh.
This movie grossed more than $50.9 million at the box office. This is an American romantic comedy sports film. Sports Illustrated has ranked this movie
Major
as the
League.
number 1 greatest sports movie of all time.
Field
A
of
fan
Dreams.
who has an affair with one minor league baseball player each season
Bi-
meets an up-and-coming
Bull
pitcher
Durham.
and Bull Durham, Timmy C.
Damn, I had the wrong Kevin Costner movie. I was saying a Tin Cup.
You were thinking of him being in Baltimore with Cal Ripken's wife.
There's that too.
The score is now Timmy C 4, TJ 2.
5. TJ 5.
We
I
have
got a
one
chance to
movie
tie
left.
it with the last one.
Here we go. On a budget of $24 million, our last movie this week grossed more than $43.4 million at the box office.
Broke even.
This is an American comedy film.
Okay.
This movie is one of Dave's faves. A Chicago man, Chet, and his family go camping at their rented
Great
lakefront
Outdoors.
cabin. Great Outdoors. TJ Stevens with a 3-pointer at the buzzer. With a rented lakefront cabin in Wisconsin for a summer vacation. Much to Chet's dismay, his wife's sister and a contentious investment broker husband, Roman Craig, arrive uninvited with their twin daughters.
Na 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 na.
So
I absolutely, that movie, Great Outdoors and Summer Rental are 2 of my absolute favorite movies of all time.
Summer Rental's fabulous.
Great Outdoors, Canadian Bacon was also in this time frame. I enjoy.
Canadian Bacon was his last one.
Yeah,
Yep.
I enjoyed
Never
that
saw
one.
Summer
Never
Rental's
seen it.
much better. Summer
So we
Rental.
have a mutual friend by the name of Frank Bruno,
Who?
and he thinks
Speaking of which, I got to mail him.
And he
a
looks
Liz
like John
Morgan
Candy?
autograph.
no, he thinks John Candy is terrible.
Oh, I'm not mailing him the Liv Morgan autograph then.
Melton was mailed with poo in it.
John Candy is One of my favorite actors of all time.
John Candy is a legend.
Harry Crumb.
Oh, Delirious. I love Delirious. That's what
What's the
Who is
where
that?
he's
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck's good. My favorite movie of him is the one where he's the God, they're wearing the red security guard uniforms.
Oh, that's Delirious.
No, it's not. It's
that
got
who's-
Zeus in it.
Is that who's
Meg
Harry?
Ryan.
Is that who's Harry Crumb?
No.
Stripes.
Who's Harry Crumb? What's the name of that damn movie?
He was
Stripes.
great in Stripes.
He
Stripes
was
is
doing
epic.
Stripes.
We just listed off
But-
like 8 movies without even.
By
thinking
the
about
way,
it.
Dave, Summer Rental, obviously the best.
I mean, Great Outdoors has John Candy and Dan Aykroyd.
And he's in Cool Runnings.
He is. He's the coach.
I see pride. I see power. I see a bad mother.
Armed and Dangerous.
That's a good one too.
Awesome movie.
Ghostbusters.
John Candy was not in Ghostbusters.
He was. He was Slimer.
That's not true.
He was the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man.
That's more believable, but also not true. Here we go. WWF Royal Rumble is January 24th, 1988. We're at the Cops Coliseum in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
Cops.
I did not see that coming.
He's a cop.
If you're a cop, you got to tell me it's in the Constitution. The announcers are Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura. To start the show, we go over the feud between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. They're set to take place once again at Saturday night's main event upcoming in February.
No,
The
just the
main
main
event.
event.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
In,
Glam-
in your town.
Indianapolis, Indiana. That's right. The Glamour Girls will take on the Jumping Bomb Angels. Dino Bravo will attempt to break the world bench press record. Plus the Young Stallions against the Islanders. For some reason, while we're doing this, Rick Rude's music's playing in the background. Oh, wait. He's in the ring.
Not Rick Rude's music.
This card was absolute trash.
It was.
Trash. Good thing it was on the USA Network and not pay-per-view because it would have got 0 buys.
They had
Horrible.
to be going against NWA running like a Clash of the Champions. or
No, it's
something.
Bunkhouse Stampede.
Okay. Love the main event is a contract signing. That seems like a good plan. And I hate the fake ass Rick Rude music. Stupid.
I'm gonna make sure, but I'm pretty sure it was the Bunkhouse Stampede they were counter programming.
Yeah, that is definitely allegedly what it was.
Yep, January 24th, 88. All right, so match 1. Rick Rude takes on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I didn't even realize these two faced each other in the WWF, but I ain't mad at it. This was a good opening match, as one would expect with these two. Rude spent a lot of the match in charge, but as we get closer to the finish, we exchange some near falls, and then Rude pulls the ref, causing a ref bump. Rude puts Steamboat in a shoulder back breaker, and the ref calls for the bell. Everyone thinks Rude won by submission, and they even play his music. However, the official decision is Steamboat wins by disqualification. 2 stars. I loved the finish. I loved it.
I'm actually surprised that WWF didn't push Rude over Steamboat here, since Steamboat was in McMahon's bad graces over his attempt at some time off after winning the Intercontinental Championship the year prior.
Well, they kind of did.
And Steamboat
This
wasn't
match-
here much longer.
This match wasn't bad, but I just don't understand the justification of starting off a show with a DQ finish. I'd much rather have seen a clear victory over anybody. It doesn't matter who wins. I mean, they could have gone with Rude winning the way he won, and just it gives you a clear winner, because pretty much after WrestleMania 4, Steamboat was gone.
Yeah, that he was.
He lost in the first round of that, or did he lose or had a?
Yeah.
I think
I think
He
it
lost.
was
He
a
lost
draw.
to-
lost.
he lost to Greg Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
And then-
draw. It was a
No, the draw was
The draw was Rude and Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
oh,
He
okay.
lost to Greg Valentine in the first round, and that was it.
Either way, very basic Rude here. No pictures on his tights. Shitty fake music. There's a kid in the front crowd wearing one of those old school navy blue and yellow WWF hats with a stripe. I need one of those, please. The scientific match is like the road that never ends. It goes on forever, and this does it. This is the best at stretching everything. God. We'll get into that in a bit. Rude Awakening wasn't a thing here, but that backbreaker would have been a badass. But I'd like to see him put it on the Warrior. That would have been fun. And then really, you're gonna dusty finish this? Okay, cool.
You can have that hat for $80 on eBay, Timmy.
All right, no, thank you.
Well, you said you needed it. $80.
If I could have it for $8, I'd need it.
Now we go to Mean Gene and Jesse as we get ready for Dino Bravo's attempt to break the all-time bench press record at 705 pounds. We get the extreme pleasure of watching Dino's warm-up reps because for whatever reason, he decided to warm up on national television and not backstage beforehand. After I wrote that sentence, I left to make something to eat, and when I came back, we're still doing this. My God. I wish I would have timed this, but I did not. Throughout this, Frenchie Martin, Dino, oh, good. Frenchie Martin and Dino Bravo are asking for silence as he prepares to make the attempt, and then he walks off. Damn it, he came back. They say he accomplished the record, even though Jesse was pretty much deadlifting it. This was the shits. I don't know how this ever made the air.
This segment started at the 22:35 mark and didn't end until the 39-minute mark on the dot. This shit was 16 minutes and 25 seconds.
Takes a long time to bench press once.
Are you kidding me?
And I you could hear Vince on the headset starting to say, like, speed this up, but acting like an announcer. And I think he was telling the people in the back, like, hey, wrap this shit up. This is terrible.
By the way, Bravo and Ventura could barely lift the amount together, so it was all a huge sham.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that in just a second. But this segment is literally the ultimate in trying to stretch the show for television. Holy shit. Why did the two outside weights shine on the bar, but the two in the middle not? Because styrofoam doesn't shine. Okay, thank you. When I've heard people discussing this, I can't imagine trying to do a bench press on a wooden stage. It is super difficult. By the way, they did Dino Bravo a huge disservice because you know what wood does? Gives. And you're trying to push up and the wood's pushing down. Like, I get that he wasn't able to do it. Cool. By the way, Jesse is bad at math. The original weight would have been 405, not 415, because the bar weighs 45. And then you had 4 plates. Do the math. Legitimate weight was 225 that he started with, because he had 2 actual plates and the bar. But his bench press form shitty. It's just like,
yeah,
push it 8 inches, whatever.
He was doing piston reps.
Yes, terrible. Adding the 2 plates would take it to 495, not 505.
Bar weighed more back then. It's old bar.
True.
No, it did not. And I don't care that we're in Canada. They could do it in kilograms.
It was made.
Jeeves.
It was made out of cast iron instead of.
Still stretching the show, Jesus. I guess we figured out Ventura's strong suit is not math because he misses every damn one of them. Add 90 pounds and it's 120. What? And I thought the steamboat match was long, but Jesus, him trying to bench press this fake weight is forever.
You could legit make the case that was the worst segment ever in WWF television history.
Well, yeah, because like This Is Your Life Rock was 22 minutes, but it
was funny.
Entertaining. Yeah.
This is trash. Match 2, the Glamour Girls take on the Jumping Bomb Angels. Over the course of the match, Jesse has the audacity to ask Vince what the names of the Bomb Angels are. Nobody knows. These women are beating the shit out of each other, however, and the Glamour Girls win the first fall. Oh, did I mention this was 2 out of 3 falls? This next fall was relatively short as the Glamour Girls accidentally clothesline each other, and then one of the Bomb Angels gets out of a shoulder backbreaker and gets to roll up for the second fall. The third fall lasted quite a bit longer, and the crowd is getting behind the Bomb Angels. The Angels hit a double dropkick for the win. They are the new Women's Tag Team Champions, 3 stars. Now, Timmy, you had me look this up. We don't do this very often. We should probably do it more often. Over under the ages of the competitors in this match. Let's start with the woman. I'm pretty sure Vince called her Dorito, but it's Norio.
Torito.
Nario, and
Just so you know, today is Leilani Kai's birthday.
it is.
It is. Bob Cook confirmed it.
He
Yep.
did.
Throwback to episode 2.
So how old are the jumping
The
bomb angels?
bumping. Well, they were in this match.
The
They were
bumping
definitely
job
the
angels.
Bumping bomb angels. Let's see. I'm gonna go at 88.
They were 27.
24.
Both of them were 22.
No.
One of them had just turned.
I
Itsuki
was
just turned.
close. I was closest.
Over under Judy Martin 35 here.
Over.
58.
She was under 32.
72.
She was 32. Over under Leilani Kai 30.
She was 29.
Over because she was at WrestleMania 1.
31 years old here. So 22, 22, 32, 31.
There is no way that the Glamour Girls are barely 30 at this point.
Dennis Condrey was 36. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. He was
What
1 year-
was in the water in the 80s?
Them wants to bang
Everyone
a
looks
Glamour
so
girl.
goddamn old.
meth.
You win.
What is it with 2 out of 3 fall matches back in the day?
Canada.
Since when did WWF have women's titles?
It wasn't long lived.
Well, with the roster WWF had in early 1998 or 1988, we couldn't
80
get
or
anything better
98.
than this. We got 28 minutes of a guy lifting fake fucking barbells. And we got Oldie Locks and Leilani Kai.
Locks. That's her born name.
In 2 out of 3? Really?
Yep.
After the Jumping Bomb Angels ended up winning the titles here. Dude, I'd never even heard of these girls till we did the 87 Survivor Series episode.
Mm-hmm.
They were good though.
And that match, not this shit.
No, they were good in this. They were good. Oldie Locks couldn't keep up.
I will say this. The Glamour Girls did eventually win the women's titles back in July of 88 and held them until they were officially deactivated in February of 1989.
Yeah, if you
The
notice,
titles lasted from April of 1983 to February of 1989, and there was a total of 5 champions.
good. There was probably a title change every time too. So if you notice, they never show the corner of the Glamour Girls, is because when Judy Martin was not in the ring, she was smoking. So
Meth. She was smoking meth. No one ever gives Vince credit for trying to jumpstart the women's wrestling back in the 80s. Jumping Bomb Angels could have been huge. Those girls were good.
they were,
You could drop them in today and they would be good.
and they were
Yeah.
22 here
Yeah.
You could drop them into AEW and they'd both be champion.
and injured probably.
Probably because he'd have them jumping off of fucking top of an arena.
Through thumbtacks and broken glass.
Barbara.
Little known fact about they dubbed the music over Howard Finkel for the announcement. The original song that they played when the Jumping Bomb Angels came in was "I Think I'm Turning Japanese," which a good thing.
Is that
they
for real?
You knothead.
I'm like, oh my God, that would be epic.
I was like, there's no way they played that song.
did. Just let the comedy happen. Why do you gotta do that?
I think I'm turning Japanese. I think
No, could you? Somebody, they're gonna listen to this show, and then the next day on Twitter, be like, I can't believe those racist assholes in '88. But I think I turned Japanese and Jumping Bomb Angels. This is bullshit.
I'm canceling Netflix.
Good news. I don't have to. Why can you not just let the comedy happen? Damn
And then
it.
We could start a new meme that just says "You've been rathered."
So in hindsight, maybe Vince wasn't doing so much for the women's division. Just saying.
Now we get a highlight package of Hogan and Hogan and Andre from
Hogan and Andre.
Hogan and Andre.
setting up some intrigue for the Saturday night or the main event on February 5th. Then we have a promo spot from Ted DiBiase as he says he wants to buy the WWF title. Then we go to Hogan and his thoughts on everything. Now go to the main event highlights. As Hogan is posing after a win and Andre attacks him from behind. Actually, that was Saturday night's main event. Where did Andre buy his suits?
Tent and awning.
How does one acquire a suit that large?
It's a boat cover.
I believe you.
To be fair, he had enough money. He just went to New York City and said, "Hey, build me a big ass suit." The recap took forever as well. Why does everything on this show take 14 times what it should? I hate you, Vince.
After the highlights, we have a contract signing for the world title match on the main event with Hogan, Andre, DiBiase, Virgil, and Mean Gene. They are milking this for everything it's worth as Andre won't sit down at the table. After DiBiase berates Hogan and says that this contract is a career-ending contract for Hogan. Eventually, Hogan signs. Then Andre, after like 12 minutes of stalling, signs it. God, somebody just shoot me already. Afterwards, Andre attacks Hogan and throws the table on him. Good stuff, but this could have been at least 8 minutes shorter. Bret Hart and Tito Santana. Oh, why is that sentence in there? That's for the next one. That's for the next thing.
This Hogan Andre segment was way too long. And then you add in the Dino Bravo segment. We could have like 3 more matches here. I still wish you would have given DiBiase a Roman title.
Could have been
after
a 5
having
out of
Andre,
7.
though.
Could have been a 5 out of 7.
Yeah, we could have Jumping Bomb Angels and the Glamour Glitz could have had a 5 out of 7 or 8 out of 7. I mean, just
Jumping Bomb Angels and old steel cutouts over there.
grainy tits.
At 31! Jesus. I hate life.
But we've discussed this in the past. DiBiase should have got that run with
Yes,
the belt.
I agree. I think everyone agrees with that.
I just thought the Canadians are a little excited to be seeing a real American.
Nice.
Bret Hart never could have got a reaction like that in Canada.
Well, we'll come back to that. Jesse
he did.
agrees with me. He's like, hey, we're in Canada. Why are they cheering this? That's what I loved about Jesse. He was just like, no, they're wrong. Great dynamic in the build-up, but they really couldn't find a bigger table. It's literally like, hey, sign this on a tiny kitchen table.
It was the table Bruce was using for his headphones.
I love that Hulk had his wrist tape for the contract signing because always got to be ready, brother. And literally, it's a tiny kitchen table, but it's not even like fake. It's IKEA model Dunshausen 7.
Dunshausen.
and then he flips it on him like, damn, that probably actually hurt because that table looked like it weighed about 1,400 pounds. Terrible.
Match 3. It's time for the Royal Rumble match. Bret Hart and Tito Santana are going to get this started, as I was trying to say in the last segment. Here's your participants: Hart and Santana, the Killer Bees, Butch Reed, Boris Zukov, Dangerous Danny Davis, Dino Bravo's back, Don Morocco, Hillbilly Jim, Jake Roberts, Jim Neidhart, Nikolai Volkov, JYD, One Man Gang, Harley Race, Ron Bass, Sam Houston, Jim Duggan, and the Ultimate Warrior. Bret Hart lasted the longest at 25:42. One Man Gang had the most eliminations at 5. And Zukov had the shortest run at 2 minutes 33 seconds. The Warrior was in for 351, eliminated no one, and was thrown out by Dino Bravo.
Which is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
No. The final 4 is Duggan, Gang, Bravo, and Morocco. And, of course, Duggan gets the win after coming in at number 13, lasting 14:43, and it had 3 eliminations, the last being the One Man Gang. This got 3 stars.
Also weird that Duggan was there for 14:43.
Yeah.
I like the match starting off with Hart and Santana. I had only ever seen this one other time, and it was probably 15 years ago. So I had no recollection of what anything was going on this show. But there were no big stars in this match. Maybe Warrior, but I mean, he didn't get big till later that year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm surprised Warrior didn't win the damn thing.
I was kind of surprised by that, too.
Because he got his push starting around WrestleMania 4 with the match with Hercules.
Well, Duggan hadn't been caught with the Sheik yet, so I think they were still pushing
Yes,
Duggan.
he had.
That was he had.
He was
87.
Yeah, he was back.
He was
now.
back now.
Then I don't know why Duggan won it.
Butch Reed was the first eliminated. I mean, we all saw that one coming. But this match was nothing more but a mid-Carter Rumble. A great concept with no big names. It's still nothing but a snooze fest. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen Bunkhouse Stampede. That shows shit too.
I don't know if I ever have.
Watch it. We should do a special. It's horrendous.
Do a watch along with Bunkhouse Stampede 88.
We'll watch the main event match.
We should try to
The
get Kevin.
Bunkhouse Stampede.
We should try to get Kevin Nash for that. He loves talking about Bunkhouse Stampede.
Dusty wins.
I would love to have seen Savage, Honky Tonk Man, DiBiase, Brutus Beefcake, King Kong Bundy, Bam Bam Bigelow. Hell, maybe even Lord Littlebrook and Little Tokyo. I mean,
Nice.
give us somebody in here. Good Christ. If nothing else, JYD should have won this because he was way more over than Hacksaw.
Do you know why those people you just mentioned weren't there?
They were off.
They were running a house show somewhere else.
So give them all the people we just watched this battle royal and give us them. Sorry, Boston, your night's gonna suck tonight.
Yeah. Sorry, Boston. You're watching Lord Littlebrook. But no, seriously, this was a house show they decided to put on USA.
Your main event's gonna be One Man Gang and Lanny Poffo. Have fun.
Yeah, pretty much. I really used to enjoy when they would show the guys picking their numbers. I missed that from this.
They're still missing that. They need to bring that back.
They do. Because then you
The
get
hell
Teddy
is-
DiBiase buying the numbers and Repo Man to steal, and I'm like, yeah, they need to bring that back.
The hell is wrong with Canada? They cheer a real American. They boo the real Canadian that sucks asshole. So that makes sense. And then they cheer the guy from Tijuana, Mexico. What?
Actually, we had Brett in this and not Jim Neidhart.
He was.
Neidhart
You
was
just-
in it.
Oh, was
You
he?
just said it.
Oh. Well, he must have had a lasting impact because I forgot he was in it.
The only thing Brett does better than Owen is deliver a pile driver, by the way.
Yeah.
He didn't kill anyone. Pretty sure they were using Titan time here because it was like 30 seconds, 14 minutes that Dino Bravo came out. Who knows? And this is the only Rumble where there was really no storytelling. I mean, it was just
this was awful. Well, the first couple, well, I guess 89 didn't tell a story either. Well, yeah, it did because that's
Yeah,
when
it
Hogan
did.
and Macho.
You at least had Demolition starting it. That's
well, Hogan and
a story.
that's when Hogan eliminated Macho Man and Macho Man got pissed, and that pretty much led to the end of the Mega Powers.
Yeah,
And then in 90, it was Hogan and Warrior.
yeah.
And 91 didn't really have much. It was just Hogan winning.
Well, also 90 was the
Well,
year
91
DiBiase,
wrestling didn't have much, so makes sense.
90 was the year DiBiase bought number 30.
Yeah.
And then
Still
91,
won.
he was number 1 and started with the Bulldog and lasted forever.
Yeah. So this match eventually becomes like Battle of the Territory Stars. Literally, Morocco and Volkov are the only people who were brought up to the old WWF. It's just them and everyone from AWA.
In the Mid-South.
I agree, guys, though. I don't know why the Ultimate Warrior didn't win because they were trying to push him. Seems like a good idea.
I mean, I'm not upset about it. I just saw him and I was like, huh.
I mean, he's an
Maybe-
asshole. I don't want him
Maybe
to
he
win
was
it, but-
maybe he was supposed to, but he's too stupid not to get thrown over the top rope.
You're not supposed to get eliminated, you dumb fuck.
He pulled an Austin and slipped on the rope and got eliminated on accident. We get another recap of the Hulk Hogan and Andre contract signing we just saw, and the message Andre sent to Hogan by flipping the table over on him. Now we go to Craig DeGeorge and Hulk Hogan. Who's this goober and where's Mean Gene? Hogan said he remembers pressing Andre over his head for the 3 at WrestleMania. Hogan
Twice.
starting his revisionist history early on.
I synced it.
I synced it.
I was
Everyone
there.
saw it.
Twice he did it.
I was there in Detroit.
What?
Well, it was in Pontiac. It wasn't in Detroit.
Same thing.
Someone should talk to Hulk about matching outfits. Just saying. He's got like sky blue pants on and this shirt.
Yep.
Doesn't
I
make
loved
sense.
it.
I'd wear it.
He looked at a Bruce Springsteen extra dancer in this.
I'm wearing it to the Royal Rumble this weekend.
You got the sky blue pants.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be skin tight.
Nice.
Done.
Show off that.
I'm wearing
bulge.
spandex sky blue.
I find it
Main
weird.
event: the Islanders take on the Young Stallions
Main event. Okay.
in another 2 out of 3 falls match. My God.
Ah! Shit.
Haku shows his crazy man strength as he does a leapfrog over Roma, except he stumbles and falls, and as he's falling backward, he still hip toss Paul Roma. Roma spills over the top rope after Haku pulled the rope down and tweaks his knee.
Haku.
This results in a count out for the first fall.
I almost missed the match because I almost
What's a
turned off the
pay-per-view?
pay-per-view. Yeah. Assuming we've seen all the good stuff, good being in parentheses. Holy
Okay.
shit! 2 out of 3 falls again?
You don't mean parentheses, you mean quotation marks.
No, parentheses, good.
That's wrong. After the break, we go to Craig to George with DiBiase, Andre, and Virgil.
I'm
Fuck
sorry,
that
DiBiase.
Fuck that stupid tag team match we were just watching before commercial. More of the same throughout the show. DiBiase is going to buy the WWF title after Andre beats Hogan on February 5th. I still think they should have gone with DiBiase having the belt and defending at WrestleMania 4 against
Yes.
Randy Savage. Speaking of Randy Savage, where the hell has he been on this show?
He's at a house show.
Also, whose idea was it to let Andre talk for like 3 minutes straight?
Pat Patterson.
Well, it was terrible. Oh my God. Hogan.
So we get an interview during the middle of the match. What the hell's going on here?
Back to your point, TJ. Less is more with Andre Promos. Don't let him talk.
It's like giving the great Khali a microphone for
You
5
know what he
minutes.
needs? All he needs is, I'm going to enjoy it, Hogan. That's it. Just
Hey, Andre, your English is immaculate. What do you think of the upcoming match?
The Giant Gonzalez, Ric Flair, I'm going to kill you.
I kill you.
What would have been nice is what during the Andre promo, if they continued the match, they didn't. They waited for us. We start the second fall of this match. Roma's still selling the knee. The Stallions trying to have Jim Power start the fall, but Roma has to start because he lost the first fall.
It was
The whole-
nice they tried to play the trick, though.
They
The
did.
ref's like, no, you're good guys. Don't do that.
The whole second fall is the Islanders dismantling the Young Stallions, and eventually they get a submission on Roma for the second fall and the win. Thank you. You didn't go to the third one.
Cool. Another 2 out of 3 falls match. Just what we need. You have to love
Vince. Only
Vince.
went 2.
So this is going on, and Vince is shitting all over the Dole segment with Bravo during the middle of the match. I mean, this couldn't be a Honky Tonk Man Intercontinental title match or something here.
He was at a house show.
What are we doing? I did love, though, if you guys catch this, Vince McMahon made a remark about Tama Tonga. And it was kind of, I mean, it was, by today's standards, it was kind of iffy.
Yeah.
And Jesse Ventura bringing up Jimmy the Greek being, he goes, Jimmy the Greek being replaced for his racist remark. And Vince McMahon should be replaced as well because he's racist. Nice touch there. Finally, after about 9 hours, the Islanders pick up the victory. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
I can't find what was happening at the house show. Why would they give the Stallions the entire promo to recover? Like, hey, oh, you look hurt. We're going to bring Andre out to cut a shitty promo and you just tape it up. What kind of pussy is Paul Roma? My knee hurt.
I think I found it. So they were in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Sensational Sari defeated Rockin' Robin to retain the WWF Women's title.
By the way, no, I like Jumping Bomb Angels. I'm good with that.
Coco Beware defeated Sika.
Better than the Islanders and Roma.
The Rougeau brothers defeated Los Conquistadors. Axe defeated Buddy Lane. Smash defeated Ken Patera. What?
Patera.
Brutus Beefcake.
How was he not in the first Rumble?
Why are they wrestling separately? Axe and Smash.
You saw Dino Bravo lift one rep for 17 minutes.
That's
so
true. Brutus Beefcake defeated Greg Valentine.
great match. Put that on this show.
The Honky Tonk Man defeated Randy Savage by DQ to retain the WWF Intercontinental title.
Also a great match. Put that on this show.
That was your house show. That was up same time as this.
They should have
promo.
recorded that house show and not this shit.
That's correct. We don't know what we
interwebbed them.
We don't know what we mean by Royal Rumble, but look at this house show match. When we come back from break and we're going to cover the bench press attempt by Dino Bravo, I'm not watching this shit. I turned it off.
Yeah, I was done. I was done. I had shit to do.
Please stop recapping things.
I had to go wash
I was
my
going to
hair.
say I turned it off before that.
I had to go wash my hair. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please let us know. You should listen to it while you wash your hair. Give us that 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. Follow the network at Filter Free Nets, and of course, watch on Premiere for Premiere Streaming Network. As for us, you can find us on our social media platforms at Timmy C,
At Timmy C 1979.
Dollar Bill Dave.
You can follow me on X at Dave in the HSV.
And I am on Twitter at TStevens91. Next week, we're going to cover an episode of WCW Thunder from February 12th, 1998. So I'm sure that's going to be gangbusters. The Yankees begin a dynasty. It's just in the front office. AOL makes internet more expensive. A Daytona streak is broken, and so much more. Yes, Timmy, there's a NASCAR story next week.
Yes.
This has been the Filter Free Podcast, and so long for now.
Joke of the week. What's the best part about a hooker dying on you?
Oh, dear.
Don't you
Second
go dying
hour's
on me.
free.
Don't you go dying on me.